She's a, paramedic, so she gets exposed a lot.
Where does she live?
Well, she actually lives in South Carolina, but she works just across the border of North Carolina, near Charlotte. She says 1 out of every 2 calls she's on now is COVID related.
Oh, golly.
I mean, for whatever else they have COVID also.
Yeah.
So
I'm hearing a lot about how it's going to get much worse with the new strains. Is anybody in healthcare seeing that yet?
wait until our
Physicians are not on yet.
get on.
Okay.
Yeah, when Janet Cheek gets on, she usually has an update because I believe she works at Hillcrest and it's just been packed over there with COVID patients.
Oh my God.
Well, Barbara, not to be too analytical, but there are 4 million people in Oklahoma. 400,000 of us have had it.
10%.
That's 1 in 10.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I see on my charts. The rate is about 1 in 10. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Have you had any 10 of it, Barbara?
I've not had it, and I've had both my shots now, so I consider myself very fortunate. But then I've been hiding out, up at the lake and not doing a whole lot. So
That's a bad place to hide out, I tell you. I tried to get Kathy to load up the travel trailer last night and head to South Texas. We got some friends down there and it's 81 degrees.
well,
I said, we can go down there for 2 weeks and work from there and do everything we do from here.
You would have
What's
been
holding you back?
You've waited.
I don't know her. I don't know what's holding her back. Nothing holding me back.
You waited too long to leave. I went out. I could hardly get the paper this morning because so much
Oh,
ice.
really? I haven't been
A lot
outside
of
yet.
ice. I get to go to. I'm supposed to meet Jay down in Henrietta this morning, and it's ice all the way down.
Jay will go. You better be careful.
yeah, I would.
You got to call the president.
I know Jay's going to go. And tomorrow we're going to Muskogee. He'll go there too. I told them both. They said, "Well, we'll let you know what the roads are like." And I said, "Well, if you're meeting, I said, if you aren't going to meet, let me know, because if you're meeting, Jay will be there."
That's right. You will find a way. I was kind of surprised he went to the Bixby yesterday, but the roads were great
The
yesterday.
roads were great yesterday. Yeah.
Roads were fine. I drove up here yesterday and they were absolutely fine. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
I
have
went to
wanted to do it
Wagner.
Monday, but
I went to Wagoner yesterday with no problem at all.
Well, I looked outside a minute ago just to see what was going on, and it looked like black ice on the street out there.
It's black ice at my house, I can tell
Is
you.
it? Okay. I'm in Sepulveda.
it's so cold.
Oh, gosh, yes. Isn't it supposed to do something all day today?
No,
No? Oh, okay, good.
Most of the day.
no, I just saw it just this morning and then it's supposed to just be cloudy the rest of the day. But, they didn't predict what happened on Monday either. And I was supposed to go to Oklahoma City for some stuff. And I ended up not being able to go because here in Oklahoma City, we're just iced in.
Well, are you at the lake?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then you're iced in there too.
No, actually, no.
Oh,
It didn't get it as bad. And the turnpike up here and then the side roads up to our place were fine.
awesome. That's interesting.
But it's cold.
Yeah. You're not out in the boat fishing?
No, and in fact, the boat, the lift broke and the boat sunk. So
Oh,
it's been a great 2021 so far.
A big improvement.
Yeah.
Hey, Dawn, did I hear your voice? Dawn Wasson?
Hi, Joy. How are you?
I'm well. Were you able to get an appointment?
And I've got to tell you that my doctor doesn't want me to do it yet. He wants me to wait 6 weeks.
That's what I've heard.
So, yes, I have an appointment. I am amazed to find out that people like your organization, like Asbury, is doing vaccines. I thought it was only the state of Oklahoma, the Holy Grail. Come to
Well,
find out,
initially,
Go ahead.
No, I think initially that was the case, that there were, just the health department and maybe, CVS and Walgreens had contracts with nursing homes or something like that. But anyway.
What's weird is I got mine through OSU Health Center, and that was not listed on one of the Oklahoma sites to go and get your shot. I just had a friend call me and say, call this number, and I called it and got in 30 minutes for my first shot. And then they quit taking the public. So,
Okay.
so they're
So
locked.
Dawn, has Margaret gotten hers?
She has not. We're just kind of hanging out until that 6 weeks period. She
Oh, so
really, she really
she-
thinks she really thinks she had it,
Okay.
even though that first test was negative.
Okay.
Over the next month, she just feels like she got it.
Okay.
But I've actually got a voice back today,
Yeah, you do.
and it's just I could breathe.
Nice. Nice.
Well, if it wasn't for COVID, we would all be complaining about real IDs.
Oh.
I didn't know whether we'd be meeting or not. The schools are closed.
Yeah, but when virtual, it doesn't really matter, does it?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Hey, Bill, we could be bragging about Arkansas. They've got a basketball team.
Finally.
Beat Kentucky last night.
What was the outcome? I didn't plug in.
Arkansas won by 1 point.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Fantastic.
First time Arkansas has beaten Kentucky since 2004, I think.
It's time that Arkansas plays Kansas then this year.
Yeah, that'd be a good year to play Kansas.
Kansas is vulnerable.
Rains, why do we know that name? Why do we know that name?
Good morning, Ellie.
Good morning.
How are you?
Here's himself.
Himself?
It's the Irish way.
It's the
Are the Tonquists not going to Hawaii this year?
No, sadly, we are not. We had a trip planned with all the kids for June of 20, and you know what happened there.
Oh, yeah.
So what are you gonna do?
We're gonna enjoy this couch.
Where's the closest beach, Barney?
Hope for 2022.
You may need a new couch.
We already replaced the foam and the cushions once.
Oh, this-
Don Watson can go to Hawaii. He's had the disease, and now he's got immunity, at least for a while.
Yeah. How about Florida?
Oh, Florida's beautiful. It's going to be 75 today and sunny, and I can't put you on a live camera. I haven't figured it out today.
Don't you have
Figured out how to rename it. And I'd show you the actual beach right now. Megan was down here not too long ago.
It's beautiful. I'm so jealous, Dan. I want to be there. I could use the beach, especially this morning.
Oh my gosh, I was listening to KRM.
It's so cold.
Megan, you could raise funds for a branch campus in Florida.
In Florida. That would be with some remote classes there.
We got Tommy Williams and Jane Doss. So, Joy, there will be another check coming in. I'm having trouble with my. I can't sign my IRA funds, and I don't have a printer or a scanner to send them back to the bank. So you'll be getting those sometime in March.
Okay.
Dan, you
Yeah,
can always try one.
I have some documents I need to have notarized. Does anybody know where there's a notary that's not locked behind closed doors?
Linda or
You can go to
Ted,
your bank.
I think.
Yeah,
Well, I could give that a try.
law offices, they usually have them.
Well, like Hogan Taylor, where I used to work, we had 3 notaries, but you can't get in the building now without someone.
Barbara's got a notary if you want to come down.
Do you have a dining room table you can make out into a bed for me?
Oh, we got more than that. We got 3 extra bedrooms.
Get out.
Jane's house, they're going back up north, and they had COVID virus. They were pretty sick with it.
Oh, really?
Not hospitalized sick. And fortunately, we'd had our vaccine when we were exposed. So, but they're still kind of suffering.
Oh.
Donna,
Joy,
you over your symptoms?
Joy,
ma'am.
our daughter Amy is a notary. If you want to do a drive-by, she'll help you
I
out.
might have to. Where do they live now? I used to know where they live.
She's at 68th and Birmingham,
Okay. Okay.
right near the Marriott.
But I'll see if Bank of America's got a notary
Okay.
in place. All right.
If you can find a Bank of America location that's open, Alan has been having difficulty even getting into the bank.
Well, it took me a couple of times to get there. So I guess they must have had a COVID infection in some of their personnel. So, you show up and the bank's closed without further.
Hayes or
Hi, Joanne.
Hello, how are you all?
I'm well. Good to see you.
Good to see you. I finally figured out how to get here.
We can
Happy birthday.
Hey.
We can see you. Yay.
I tell you what.
Janet, Cheek, you're a brunette now, or a brownette.
Wow.
Janet, how's the hospital? And you're on mute.
I'm a brunette. Yes, I'm slowly going darker. It's actually not bad. We released one of our COVID floors and made it a regular floor.
All right.
Oh, great.
I just put in a chat. I didn't want people to know. You can still get COVID with the vaccine and you can still transmit it. It's like the flu vaccine. It just minimizes the symptoms, shortens the course, and hopefully keeps you out of the hospital.
Yeah, the vaccine's all 100% to keep you out of the hospital.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My clock chimed. I'm not at home, so I can't pick up the 10-pound bell and ding it. But we are going to start now. So let me share my screen. And Megan is our Rotarian of the day. And you'll notice we have a new picture from Megan. I might remind you all that whenever you're Rotarian of the day, I go to DACDB and pluck out your picture from there. And if you don't like that picture, go back to DACDB and change it. So
I still need to change it there. Yes. All right. Well, good morning, everybody.
Hi.
Hi. Okay. Let's start with a prayer. I actually found this, and I think it really speaks to what's happening today in the COVID world. So please bow your heads. Blessed be the hearts of those who are walking in the midst of uncertainty. May they find their center of groundedness. Blessed be those who have no shelter to shelter themselves. May their spirits be filled with the love of the beloved. Blessed be those who labor in the halls of hospitals. May their sacrifices bring comfort to the weary. Blessed be those who have recovered from the coronavirus. May their lights shine on in the darkness. Blessed be those who have crossed to the other side. May they be welcomed by family, friends, and a host of angels. Blessed be those who carry the dead to their resting places. May their burdens be laid at the feet of the divine. Blessed be all life on our home planet. May we rise into kindness, compassion, and love. Okay, let's do the pledge. Salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for
with
which
which
it
it
stands,
stands,
One
one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Okay, you guys are going to be hearing a lot from me today.
That's okay.
It's like the Megan
The
K
Megan
show.
Show.
That's right. Okay. Well, first and foremost, I know we have guests from TCC who are going to be speaking, so I'll introduce them when that's time. But if there is anybody else that has brought someone or that I don't know. Oh, hi, John Rains. Welcome. Can you, do you want to tell us about yourself?
Yeah, I'm the AG for the Tulsa area and visiting your club this morning, and it's a good day to be in and off the road and visiting a club. So
Great.
really proud to be here and see a bunch of familiar faces again, and just proud to be here to serve you any way I can.
Great. We're so glad you're here this morning. Thank you for being here. All right. Anybody else? Any other? I'm looking along here. We have 34 people this morning, which is awesome. Oh, Carrie, I see you. Sorry, I'm going to introduce Carrie. Carrie Schultz is here. She is actually the Vice President of Advancement and President of the TCC Foundation. And so she is here as well from TCC. I wanted to introduce her. She actually is the person I report to. So she's my boss. So I'm really excited to hear Carrie, and she can answer questions too about the foundation if you guys have questions later. And then I will introduce.
Good morning.
So glad you're here. All right. Anybody else? I'm looking. Okay. And again, we'll introduce Ty and Lonnie when we get to their piece. All right. All right. Happy the birthdays or anniversaries. Anybody? Do we have any? Oh, Megan Windler.
Hi, it was my 33rd birthday last week.
Woo! All right. Nice. Happy birthday. All right. Anybody else? Anniversaries, birthdays? It's February. It's like a big month for anniversaries, right?
Oh, Jack Freeze has a birthday on February 12th.
Oh, happy birthday, Jack. All right. Is he here? I can't see. No. Okay. All right. All right. What about the happy bucks? Who's happy? Joy.
Mute. You're on mute. Joy, you're on mute. Mute.
Thank you. I have received both my COVID vaccines now, so I'm just waiting for the clock to tick off the 3 weeks to have my full immunity, and I'm glad I'm out of that rush.
Good. Yay. All right. Anybody else? Martha.
Yes, my happy buck is that about 45 minutes ago, our entire neighborhood lost their electricity. And so I was wandering around in the dark and didn't think I was going to make it to Rotary this morning, but it came back on.
Oh, well, I'm glad you're back. Glad you made it.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Oh.
I have one.
All right, Linda.
I have two happy bugs this morning. First of all, well, no, I'll just have one. Eric's mother passed away this last Wednesday. Another angel went to heaven. She was an amazing, amazing woman. She was laid to rest in the cemetery and mausoleum where her father designed and built. She was the daughter of a very famous artist there in Columbia. Her childhood home was a museum. And one of the ladies that worked in their home while she was growing up stayed with her every night for the last 11 years in her home on weeknights, took care of her, got her dressed in the morning, and then went home and stayed with her family on the weekends. And when COVID started, this lady took Germana into her home with her 2 children, their 2 children, her husband, and they all lived in this little apartment. And she had the happiest COVID year that I think anyone in this world has had. And I just sing her praises. Her name is Emilce Escobar. She just is a fantastic woman. I've never seen love like that. It just warms your heart to even think about her. So please give her your prayers and thoughts today. She's having a very, very hard time.
We'll keep her definitely in our thoughts and prayers. Thank you, Linda, for sharing.
Linda, you were, sorry to interrupt here, but weren't you planning on going to Columbia to visit Eric's mother here in the next few weeks?
We were trying to wait until we got our second vaccine, and we've only had our first, and then she passed. So we'll be going probably after we get our second one, and I'm going to have hip surgery March 17th. So we have to wait for me to recover from that. But then we'll be traveling again, as I'm sure you will be, Joy.
All right. Thank you, Linda. All right. Other happy bucks. I'm looking, I have 2 screens, so I'm going back and forth. Tamara, yes.
Well, I am very happy that Eric is back home as of last night. So, and we had a successful Super Bowl, so we can put that one in the books.
Yay. Good. Congratulations. It was a good Super Bowl. All right. Anybody else? Oh, I see Ellie and Barney. Yes, Ellie.
I'm not sure this qualifies as a happy buck, but until we had the ice storm, Asbury Methodist Church was doing vaccines. You can sign up after Monday each week, and they're full for this week, but you might check for next week. And also check if they're still doing it because of the reduction in vaccines that are available. But it's an opportunity that we didn't have before if it works.
That's great.
That's it.
Thank you, Ellie. That's really great. And I saw that on the news that Asbury was doing that. So that's great. Any other happy bucks? Looking around here. If I don't see you, just go off mute and wave. Okay. All right. Well, okay, on to the joke. Guys, I'm having a hard time with the jokes. So bear with me. There are some pretty bad jokes out there, and you got to be careful. So I'm going to put this out there first before I tell the joke this morning that this is nothing against the police. I just thought it was a funny joke. That's it. All right. This is a true story of George Phillips of Meridian, Mississippi, who was going to bed when his wife told him that he left the light on in the shed. George opened the door to go turn off the light, but there were people in the shed in the process of stealing things. So he immediately phoned police, who asked, "Is someone in your house?" And George said, "No." And he explained the situation about them being in the shed. Then they explained all patrols were busy and that he should simply lock his door and an officer would be there when available. George said, "Okay," and hung up, counted to 30. And then he phoned him again. He phoned the police again. He said, "Hello, I just called you a few seconds ago because there were people in my shed. Well, you don't have to worry about them because I've just shot them all." Then he hung up. Within 5 minutes, 3 squad cars, an armed response unit, and an ambulance showed up. Of course, the police caught the burglars red-handed right there. One of the police said to George, "I thought you said you'd shot them." And George said, "I thought you said there was no one available." Sorry, again, nothing against the police. It was just a joke.
That's good. That's good.
All right.
Moving
Moving on. Okay. Yeah. So, Barbara.
Yeah. Okay. We'd like to welcome back. We inducted our newest member last Monday night at the board meeting, Brian Henricks from the Tandy YMCA. So welcome back, Brian, new member. And Linda, do you want to talk?
Ma'am, I do. I do, because someone in our club went above and beyond. Not only are we presenting him today with a Paul Harris +3, but at the same time that he was eligible for that, he did Rotary Direct, which is having the money taken out from his checking account every month. And he also joined the Paul Harris Society. So today we move a little bit closer to a world of peace and goodwill, thanks to Dr. William Bowen. Thank you, Bill. His gift to the Rotary Foundation's educational and humanitarian programs is a commitment to peace and to a better life for people across the world whom he may never meet. And this is truly a selfless action. Bill, because of your gifts, the Rotary Foundation is able to carry out an array of programs that achieve beneficial changes in our world: improved living conditions, increased food production, better education, wider availability of treatment and rehabilitation for the sick and disabled, new channels for the flow of international understanding, and brighter hopes for peace in this world. In becoming a Paul Harris Fellow, Bill joins a remarkable company of persons throughout the world, all recognized for their devotion to the ideal of goodwill, peace, and understanding. It's the goal of Rotarians the world over, and one that Bill clearly shares. It gives me great pleasure to present you with the emblems of the Paul Harris Fellow, which we will do as soon as we can in person, probably at our next board meeting, the certificate and pin. We congratulate you and we thank you for your commitment to the programs of the Rotary Foundation. Please join me in thanking Bill for his generous gift.
Thank you, Bill. And
Thank you, Linda. I appreciate that very much.
And thank you, Linda.
Thank you.
Okay. Oops, next. I just thought I'd give us a little summary. I went out and Linda directed me to where the reports are, as to where our club stands as far as Paul Harris Fellows that we have. I thought that was really interesting. We've got 10 people with a +8. I don't know where you go after +8. I don't think there's any more room on the pin for any of those little tiny sapphires, but I just thought that was interesting. Our club has been a very, very strong supporter of Paul Harris Society, and I'm very proud of that.
After +8, you're a major donor.
I'm sorry, what?
After +8, you're a major donor.
Ah, okay. Well, then we have 8 people who can become a major donor, or maybe they already are, and I don't know. So thank you, Bill. Okay, again, I'll put the notice up for the glasses for Gifty's project. We'll have a presentation on this soon, but I want to keep reminding people. I have my little sack and I forgot to deliver them yesterday to MSNI for the glasses. So I will be doing that. I'm sure you all have glasses sitting around the house as well. We put out a call a couple of weeks ago for help to build a crate for the mammography machine that was going to go in the shipment to Togo that Dr. Foley was taking. So we just had some pictures here. I think that may be Bill that I'm seeing the back end of. I'm not real sure. I know Jesse took the pictures, and there is VJ. I guess he hasn't been to the barber for a while. He looks like Goldilocks on there. While they're on there, well, they did get the crate built, and the shipment did go out. I think VJ said yesterday or the day before, and Comey has already left to go meet it, I think. I do want to mention MSNI Day for Sunrise was going to be February 13th, and we had a few people saying that they were interested in coming. February the 13th on Saturday, when I look at my weather, which, you know, in Oklahoma, you never know for sure, it's supposed to be snowing on Saturday. So I don't want anybody to sign up and then not show up, because VJ goes out there at least 1 or 2 hours early for each MSNI Day and gets everything ready for everybody. So let me know in the chat room if you still are going to come, if it's snowing, or if you're not. I would like to suggest that maybe we just move it to February the 20th. The weather is supposed to break by then. It's supposed to be warmer. It'll be a good time to go and the roads shouldn't hinder you. So If you are going to go on the 13th, let me know. And then if you decide you're not going to show up, let VJ know. But I would like to just move it to the 20th for the rest of the people who are able to do it on that day. So thank you. Okay, this is a nice letter that we got. We gave a grant to Sister India for their students. And she sent a nice note to us. I just wanted to share that with you. And Deb is going to be our speaker on April 21st. So we'll be able to hear more about Sister India and what they are doing and how they're able to use our gifts. Sounds like a very, very interesting organization. Okay, just a little humor here. Last Monday night, we had our board meeting, and I finally, I guess, was officially the president. Dr. Tim conceded that I was now the president, and I got the charter, the presidential medal, and the stud duck. So I'm now official. Just wanted to let you guys know that. Okay, last week, the winner of the Starbucks $5 card was Mike Bibby. So that card, you should have it in the mail already, Mike. I think I mailed that a couple of days ago. So if you find the error in the fundraiser today, put it in the chat room. So far, there have been a couple of entries that may have actually been errors, but they were not the intended error. So you have to find the intended error to get the $5 Starbucks card. Okay, Ellie, we're going to stop sharing. And Ellie, are you going to draw a card? Or
Well,
draw a ticket?
I'm going to draw a ticket and somebody else can pick a number for a card.
Yeah.
It's stuck. Okay. Oh, no, that's last week. That's half a ticket from last week. Okay, Bill Bowen.
Hey, hey.
A little closer.
Bill Bowen. Oh, it's backwards, but it's Bill Bowen.
Okay, Bill, pick a number.
Well, I'm 2 for 2 today. 27.
27. Okay.
27?
27.
Here's card number 27. And it's the Jack of Clubs.
Getting
Sorry,
close.
Bill.
I still got the Paul Harris pin. I'm good.
We're getting closer. Getting closer. Okay.
And that one's out.
Okay, here's my charts that I do every week. And you'll notice that the trending line is going down. And you read the paper, and it is too. I just like to keep track of it myself and kind of see where we're going. So I'm real hopeful that sometime during my Rotary year, we'll be able to meet in person back at the Marriott. And I'm hopeful that I think that's going to happen. So, but not yet. We're just not there yet. So we are now to the Megan show. And Megan,
Now, Barbara?
Yes?
I just wanted to do an update on the Don Walker Fund.
Oh, thank you.
Just to let you know, at this point, we have collected over $15,000 for the Don Walker Fund. And we've already obligated about 10,000 of it. Some of it's actually money that's the check's been written and sent out. But anyway, good job, you guys.
Thank you, Joy. And I believe we have enough money that we're going to be able to send the container of medical supplies over to Cameroon. So while I'm on that note, and I should have mentioned this earlier, I know a lot of you women do sewing and knitting and crafts and stuff. If you have things sitting around your house like I did, drawers full of material you're never going to use again, lots of buttons, all sorts of sewing stuff that you've just been saving because like me, you couldn't get rid of it. This is a really good time to get rid of it. You can put it in sacks and take it over to MSNI and it'll go in a container and it'll be really welcomed by the people on the other end, on the receiving end of that container. And particularly in Comey's situation, because he has the sewing school over there. So anything that you have sitting around like me for 10 or 20 years that you haven't used and you're probably not going to, think about taking it over to MSNI. They're open, and you might check with VJ because of weather, but Tuesdays through Thursdays from 10 to 2 is when you can take things over there. And I went the other day and it was real easy. I just left it on the bench out there and called VJ and told him it was there. So,
I went
okay, Miss
last week
Megan.
too, Barbara.
Pardon?
Can I say one more thing about that? He
Sure.
also said you can take blue jeans that your kids have outgrown, even if the knees are torn out of them, and any kind of material that they can take apart and recycle. So old clothes also he'll take.
Actually, I looked through the rag bag and we had some towels that were decent, but they were kind of torn. So I sent some towels over there too. So it's a good way to clean house, and spring's coming. So do your spring house cleaning and let MSNI benefit from that. Okay, Miss Megan, it's your show.
All right. I am so excited about actually today's presentation. And my, I guess, Rotarian of the Day piece goes along with it. And one thing I know that sometimes we want to, for Rotarian of the Day, we want to talk about why we became a Rotarian, or why am I a Rotarian? And I reflected on that some for my talk, and I just thought, easy answer is I want to serve people, and I want to make a difference in lives. And what's cool is in Rotary, I get to serve people, make difference in people's lives with people who want to do the same thing. And that's what I love about Rotary, and I love about especially even this club, is that I feel that each one of us is here to make an impact. And last year, I will tell a little story. Last year, I was in one of the many interviews I had when I was looking for a job. I was in an interview, and it was one of those interviews it actually wasn't going well. And it was one of those interviews halfway through, I figured out this role was not for me. And I think the man who was interviewing me as well figured this out. And he just finally looked at me and said, "What do you want to do?" And it was like this amazing moment in my life where like that, I just looked at him and I said, "Well, I want to serve people." And usually in interviews, I'll like wait, kind of listen and think about my answer. It just rolled off my tongue. I just looked at myself, I just want to serve people. And it was like this aha moment. Number one, that the role I was going for in this job was not for me. But it was just a really, like, I left that interview with clarity that in what I do, whether it's in work or out of work, I want to serve people and make a difference in people's lives. And I love our club. I love Rotary in general, because that's what we get to do, and we get to do it with people who like to do it. So that's going to lead me into, and so actually, before I even go on, I want to thank you for everybody for inviting me into this amazing club. I've been here a little over a year and known you for more than that. But even when I wasn't a member, you guys were so welcoming and inviting. And so I thank you for that. What's great is I get to talk to you today, or I get introduced to you guys today, a presentation from my place of work, Tulsa Community College, which I am so excited to be a part of. And so one thing I'll let you guys know, Sunrise Foundation Board approved to fund $2,500 in scholarships to TCC students with disabilities. So as you guys know, I'm a development officer for the TCC Foundation. And so we raise money for different programs in the college that will enhance a student's educational journey. And so I came with an application from the foundation for scholarships for the students with disabilities in our Accessibility Resources Department. And so you guys have approved that. Thank you so much. And it'll be $500 scholarships. And what's even better is actually it's going to be funded for 2 years and because of the Don Walker Memorial Fund. So that's exciting too. And we've named it actually the Don Walker Accessibility Resources Scholarship. So that being said, I do want to, I'm going to introduce Lonnie and Ty. Ty is here to speak with us. Lonnie is here as well. Before I do that though, I would like to play a video that will introduce TCC and our mission for success and equity. And because we actually have a new vice president of success and equity. Her name is Eunice Tarver. And I'm going to try this. I'm hoping that when I share my screen, I'll be able to bring this up and everybody will be able to see this. But this video is going to actually, it really shows what TCC is about when it comes to success for our students no matter where they come from or what background they have, or even if it's a student with disabilities. So hopefully you guys can hear it. We're going to try this. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Can you hear it?
And can't hear it, Megan.
Oh. You can't hear it?
No.
Megan, you might try sharing your screen again. Apparently there's a little button where you can also click audio.
When I do that?
Right.
Okay, let's try that. Where did it go? Share computer sound. Thank you. Learn something new every day. Okay, we're going to go back and we're going to start this again. Tulsa Community College Student Success and Equity Team. Today, I am thrilled to introduce myself as your Vice President of Student Success and Equity. To have the opportunity to lead such a hardworking and caring community of professionals that consistently place the success of our students at the center of their work is truly a fulfilling honor. Throughout my 10 years of service in our TCC community, one thing that I have found to be indisputably true is that you, as student affairs professionals, will always find a way to support our students, no matter what stage they are in on their educational journey. You consistently cultivate learning through excellent and thoughtful support and services, and for that, I commend you. Our work at TCC is all about equitable student success. Our work is about removing institutional barriers. Our work is about changing lives. To be able to navigate this vastly different environment, we, as student success and equity practitioners, will commit to caring deeply about our students' abilities to learn and succeed and showing our care through personalized service, ensuring that our processes, practices, and services are centered on equity and on our students' success, streamlining our robust use of data analytics, technology, and assessment to make sure that our intent and impact align, leaving do-it-alone thinking behind us and embracing the fact that enrollment, equity, retention, completion, and transfer is everyone's responsibility. Connecting, inspiring, supporting, and educating all students, including the most marginalized, vulnerable, and difficult to serve. In the words of Dr. Goodson, we must become a student-ready college. We must be equipped to serve and to be responsive to the diverse needs of our student body so that we can see them not only to our institution, but through completion. I invite you to join me in helping our students build success through education as we work together to identify and implement innovative, responsive, scalable, and sustainable post-pandemic strategies aimed at closing our racial equity gap and seeing our students through completion. As we find our way through this difficult moment in our nation's history, I am still excited to serve as your student success and equity leader as we commit to helping our students to realize our vision for an educated, employed, and thriving community. Thank you for all that you do to champion student success. Okay. All right, so I wanted to show you that because I just thought it was, number one, we have a great new VP of Success and Equity, and it really shows the message of how the college is really working on inclusivity and diversity, especially in the student body. And our club is supporting that with students with disabilities. So now I'd like to introduce our speaker, Ty Harrell, sorry, I don't know why I said Carol, Harrell, academic counselor. He's an academic counselor for TCC's Accessibility Resources. As you've read in his bio in the newsletter, Ty has over 20 years experience in the public and private sectors. He has a Bachelor of Arts and a Master's in Human Relations He's done things, he has experience in management, team building, training, professional development. He's also an adjunct professor for communications and public relations. So he's here. He's going to tell you about accessibility resources and the students you're going to be we're serving as a club. I also want to introduce Lonnie Wilson. She's here as well. And Lonnie actually just had oral surgery, so she won't be speaking much today, but she is here to support. And also I have a video that she made for you guys. So I'm going to play that before Ty comes on, if that's all right. So I'm going to do one more share and we'll go from there.
Thank you for having us this morning.
That's gonna work. Play.
Good morning. My name is Yolanda Wilson, or better known as Lonnie, and I am the Accessibility Resources Director for Tulsa Community College. Our office provides accommodations to students, and our Resource Center for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing provides communication access for students and staff, and our Faculty Student Success Liaison Program provides faculty support. So we have 3 rungs under accessibility resources, and we work with students with disabilities or staff with disabilities college-wide. Your funding and resource has been a blessing to so many people. Our TCC Foundation has been just a godsend for many of our students who have received scholarships through the TCC Foundation. Just like many students of today that are going through some tremendous struggles just to survive on basic needs, our students are no exception to that. And even more so because their funding resources have also been cut. So your dollars that you donate to TCC Foundation for our scholarship removes barriers. It allows for our students to have access to Wi-Fi, access to computers, laptops, access to equipment that supports their academic success. So your dollars given to the TCC Foundation not only support students without disabilities, our faculty and staff, it supports our students with disabilities. And it is a blessing because many of our students would not be able to attend school if it wasn't for receiving scholarships and financial aid. I want to thank you for your consideration of funding our scholarships. We do appreciate you. Just know that our students need you. Our students with disabilities need you. And we need your funding and support. And because we are trying to better lives, TCC is one of the most excellent educational endeavors that we have in Oklahoma. I know that because I am an employee of 38 years, and I wholeheartedly support our TCC Foundation. Thank you again for your consideration. We appreciate you, and I hope the rest of your day is just fantastic. Have an awesome day, and thank you so much for your consideration of funding the TCC Foundation academic scholarships for students, especially students with disabilities. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Lonnie, for that video. All right. I'm going to turn it over to Ty. Ty, you should be able to share your screen with your PowerPoint. If you have any troubles, let me know.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Megan, thank you for inviting us, folks. Thank you so much for having us here this morning. We appreciate you so much and the opportunity to come and kind of enlighten you a little bit about what it is we do every day at Tulsa Community College in the Accessibility Resources Office. First of all, I just want to, as Lonnie said, I want to sincerely thank you for stepping up and helping us fund these scholarships for our students. I can't tell you how thrilled I was when Megan was talking about how you're in this for service to individuals. That's exactly what we do. We pride ourselves every day on watching students' lives improve through education. And that's something that's very, very dear to my heart. When I interviewed for this job, I knew right away this is something that I wanted to do. It's easy to give lip service and say, oh, yes, this is what we do. But I can honestly tell you, folks, that is exactly what we do at Tulsa Community College. We want our students to come in, not only get an education, but we want them to feel that they're on a path to success and they're on a path to be able to achieve the goals that they have. And to some of our individuals, those goals seem so far out of reach that they can become disheartened. They may face life challenges. They may face academic challenges. They may face personal challenges they feel stand in the way of achieving that dream of a higher education. And when they come into Tulsa Community College and they connect with us, we show them a path forward and we give them hope and we give them support to help them achieve that goal. And that is something that's just very, very dear to my heart. To get started, I'm just going to show a little PowerPoint that just gives you an overview of kind of what we do, how we do it, why we do it, what we do it for. Just give you a little bit of information about how the program works. And then what I'd like to do is just kind of open up to Q&A. And if you have any questions that you have regarding what we do, I would be more than happy to field those. So I will go ahead and share my screen. Hopefully my technology works well on this end. Get that and that. We should be able to do that. Again, this is just kind of an overall presentation we provide to a variety of different sources regarding what we do. So I'll just kind of run through this and explain how everything works. Basically, what is accessibility resources? We assist students with documented disabilities to receive reasonable accommodations in the classroom. And we'll kind of talk about what reasonable accommodations are here in a few minutes. We also provide resources and support for our faculty and staff, including information on universal design for learning. There is a real push across higher education in general to become more inclusive, to be sure that all resources, all curriculum, everything that is used in the college setting is accessible to everyone. Deaf, hard of hearing, blind, autistic, you name it, it needs to be accessible to everyone. And I am so pleased and excited that the fact that our entire faculty and staff support 100% the work that we do. And a lot of times this work requires them to take extra steps. They're required to do a little bit more work than what's typically put on them to ensure that their material, their resources are fully accessible to everyone. And that's kind of where we step in with our faculty. We can help them achieve that. We can help them to ensure that everything that they are using is absolutely accessible to everyone. So not only are we a resource to our students, but we're a resource to our faculty and staff as well. So why is it important? Well, plain and simply, folks, it's the law. It is required. We have to do it. We don't look at it that way. We want to do it. We want to provide this to our students. The law simply states that we need to provide equal access to programs or activities provided by any public institution. It is required through Section 504 of the Rehabilitations Act, as well as the American with Disabilities Act, and the Oklahoma Electronic and Information Technology Accessibility Law. The EITA law reflects an ongoing commitment to provide access to information, resources, and technologies to individuals with disabilities. So that's why it's important. We have to do it, and we have to make sure that it is accessible to everyone. We provide this information to all of our faculty through their syllabus. The syllabus is actually the class contract that is done for every class at TCC, and every student receives it. This kind of just explains in what the syllabus says. So we want to try and get that information out to as many students as we can. One of the barriers that we face, if you will, is we're voluntary. The students have to self-report. So we rely on the students actually coming to us and saying, I need help. I need some accommodations. And we find that to be a constant challenge that we constantly face every day, because some students are hesitant to come to us, and this is for a variety of reasons. Sadly, probably the most common reason is they don't know we're here. They don't know these services are available. And that's why we put this syllabus statement out, to try and get the word out to as many students as we can. And I can say personally, each semester, I sit up with instructors to actually go into classrooms and talk to students. But unfortunately, I can't hit every class at every campus every semester. But I work really hard to try and get the word out about what we do, so we can kind of eliminate the fact that they don't know that the services exist. The second main reason students don't self-report is fear. They're afraid that if they register with accessibility resources, then they may not be able to get into a program of their choice. They fear that they will not be able to get into the nursing program, or their dental hygiene program, or the criminal justice program. And that is absolutely 100% not true. Being registered with accessibility resources affects nothing at Tulsa Community College. They can go into any degree program. They can take any class that they want. They can do anything they want. It doesn't affect financial aid. It doesn't show up on a transcript. So if we can overcome that fear, we see students much more open, and they're willing to accept the help that we're here to provide. So that's what we face. That's kind of the challenges that we faced on a daily basis, and the barriers we try to overcome from our department. So what are reasonable accommodations? Some students, when they transfer from a high school situation into a college situation, the accommodations are different. What the accommodations do is they give access to academic courses and curricula, access to other programs and services, and access to programs and services that are open to the public. So we actually, if there's some kind of public event going on, we can provide sign language interpreters. We can provide all that stuff even to those. How is it accomplished? Universal design and learning. Again, it goes back to making sure all the curriculum, everything is designed to be fully accessible by everyone. Assistive technology. We have to stay up to date on the latest technology to help our students. When we talk about technology, it is such a thing as drag and speak, which students who may have a vision impairment or some kind of handicap where it's difficult for them to type, it's a program on a computer where they can speak and it types for them. It puts the information into the computer for them. Audiobooks for blind students, who have difficulty focusing, difficulty reading, we can provide audiobooks. Then our American Sign Language interpreters, real-time captionists, all of that falls under reasonable accommodations. Where some students struggle coming from, especially a high school situation into a college situation, the accommodations are a little bit more limited than what we can do in a higher education situation. And that can be a learning experience, both for the parents as well as the students. The students have more responsibility when they're in a college setting. So we help prepare them, gear them, and then support them as they make that transition into having to do a little bit more for themselves. And we really, really love doing that. Some other accommodations that we provide on a daily basis. We have volunteer note takers, interpreters. We can provide students with digital voice recorders where if they have like an ADHD problem or autistic issues, they're on the spectrum somehow and they have a hard time focusing for an hour and 55 minutes, or some classes go almost 3 hours, then they can have a digital voice recorder that will record a classroom lecture. That way, if they lose focus, they still have everything. They can go back, listen to it, practice their note-taking skills, and not miss anything. We can offer them preferential seating. We do a lot of testing accommodations where we will allow students to have more time to complete an exam, and they can go to a distractionless environment to take their exam. Of course, we also allow service animals, any kind of adaptive equipment. And then we also ensure that our campuses are fully accessible. And with the ADA laws as they are, everything needs to be accessible to everyone. So we also kind of monitor and make sure that all the campuses and everything is up to speed and meeting the accommodations as needed on the campus. What are not considered reasonable accommodations? This goes into anything that would pose a direct threat to health or safety of others. Obviously, we can't do that. Making accommodations means making a substantial change in essential elements of the curriculum. There's really three things in accessibility resources that we can't touch. We can't touch the curriculum. It is what it is. We can't touch the tests. We can't modify the test in any way. They are what they are. And the class syllabus, which is the contract for the class, we typically can't change that. So that would be like due dates for assignments, attendance policy, that sort of thing. Those are things that are typically off our radar. We can't play with that. But we work real closely with our faculty to make sure that we can do everything possible to make sure that the students have what they need to be successful. And then we can't do anything that poses an undue or financial or administrative burden. That's pretty the limits of what we can do and how we can do it. As I stated before, I am so just thankful and I feel so blessed that our staff and our faculty absolutely 100% support what we do. The staff and faculty, we work as a team. So as I stated before, students have to self-report to us. So we receive a lot of support from our faculty who may recognize that a student has an issue, is struggling, and may need further assistance. So they'll refer that student to us. And we really appreciate that. We receive referrals from our counselors, our academic counselors, from our faculty, from our wellness department. We have a wellness department that have actually LPCs on staff that work with counseling and issues like that. We'll receive referrals from them. We receive referrals from financial aid wherever. And we are so thankful for those, anything to get the students in our doors so that we can sit down and at least have a conversation and say, hey, this is what we can do for you. Is this something that you're interested in? Okay. As I stated, we do put a statement in our class syllabi every semester, so try and get the word out about what we do. We assist TCC in complying with federal and state disability laws. We make sure that we stay out of trouble. We make sure that we, are doing everything that is required by law for us to do. And we show confidence in students' ability to achieve their intellectual, personal, or professional potential. We are advocates. We are advocates for our students, but we also teach our students self-reliance. We teach our students how to be their own self-advocate, because as they get out into this cold, mean world, they're going to have to be able to self-advocate. So we help develop those skills, and we help them learn how to speak for themselves and to stand up for themselves and say, this is what I need to be successful. Obviously, everything that comes into our office is confidential. That is why we are separated from just your basic advisors on campus, because we do deal with diagnoses, that sort of thing. So everything that we do is confidential. We notify faculty of their accommodations. The faculty is never made aware of a diagnosis situation or anything like that. So the students' information remains confidential at all times. What I'm most proud of is the relationships that we build with our students. We tried, folks, so hard to see if we could get a student to come in and talk with you today. Lonnie and I both worked so hard trying to make that happen. But our students move on. And the ones that I really wanted to are no longer at TCC. They've graduated, moved on. So we were unsuccessful in getting that done. But I assure you, after we award the scholarship this time, we will bring some students in to allow you to meet them and talk to them and let you see firsthand how what you're doing is affecting the lives of our students. I am so thrilled to report this morning. I checked yesterday with the foundation, and we have over 10 applications so far for this scholarship, and it's only been open for a week, so about a week and a half now. So I was thrilled to see the response that we're receiving from our students and the applications coming in. I actually received 2 emails last night from students asking questions about how to apply. So the information is out there. I have worked personally very hard to let our students know that these funds are available and to apply. And I'm really excited. I know you think, well, 10, that's all. Semester to semester, we serve anywhere from 180 to 250 students. So when you look at the grand scheme of things of enrollment over our TCC enrollment, which is the 3rd highest enrollment of institution in the state of Oklahoma, yeah, that's not a whole lot, but based on who we serve each semester, that's really exciting. And I'm expecting more applications to come in. So very thrilled to be able to report that to you this morning. And again, just how students refer, how the process works. We may receive a direct referral. A student may call, email. I've had students just walk into my office. I've had students who were registered with us bring another student holding their hand and walking into my office saying, you need to talk to them. However we can get them. We want to open our doors and be receptive to them. They contact us, we reach out to them, we set up an intake appointment. That's where we sit down, we meet with the student, we get to know the student. This is what I enjoy most, developing those personal one-on-one relationships with our students where they know if there's a problem, if there's an issue, if there's a concern, they know where to go. They know where to go to get their questions answered. They know where to go if they're having a bad day. I have literally had students come into my office, Lonnie can attest, sit down in my office and just cry. They just needed to take a break. They were just feeling overwhelmed, whatever it is. It's a safe place. It's a place where they can come, they can feel safe, they can get their questions answered, they can get directed to where they need to go to get questions answered. Being that advocate, being that support for that student is probably the greatest joy in the job that I do. And because of that, a lot of students stay in touch with us. Even when they graduate, when they leave TCC, I still have students that send me emails. They still keep me in the loop of how things are going. I have a student right now at Northeastern State University who had a very, very bad experience when he first started college, not at TCC. He went to a 4-year institution, had a very negative experience and was hesitant to come back to school, and took that step, came to TCC as a non-traditional student. I met with him, we got accommodations, and he thrived. He absolutely thrived. And he is now at Northeastern State University finishing up his degree in social work. And he emails me once, twice a semester, lets me know what's going on. I know he stays in touch with Lonnie. He was one that we would really like to have him come talk to you, but he never received a scholarship from us. So, but that's the kind of relationships that we build with our students. And that's what we're most proud of. So the process is really easy for our students. We make it as simple and as clear cut as we can to encourage students to come and visit with us. The students have our support at every campus. There's one of me. Most of them are much better looking than me at each campus. We have Stacy Nobles at West. We have Christina Hakey, who is deaf. She works with our deaf students at Northeast. And then I am at Southeast campus. And then Amber Bagwell is our counselor at Metro. So regardless of what campus the students are on, they have direct access to us, and they can access our services from any campus. Obviously, students have responsibilities as well. They must meet the attendance, conduct, and course requirements of the college. That doesn't change. They do the exact same thing that every other student does. They complete the same curriculum that every other student does, and that's expected. They separate their personal skills and behaviors from academic requirements, and students are graded utilizing the same criteria as used for all students. Some students are hesitant to come to us because they feel like they're going to be labeled. They feel like that they're somehow going to be given a cap and a big neon sign saying accessibility resources students. And that's not the case. They are treated just the same as every other student. They're expected to meet the same requirements and expectations of every other student. So we keep it as level playing field as we can, making sure that everything is the same for everyone. Okay. Again, this is kind of our contact information. Folks, I really encourage you, take my information down. I want you to know that I'm a resource. You can reach out to me. You can reach out to Lonnie at any time if you have questions, concerns. We're available to you as well, because we want to be accountable and we want you to be aware of what your funds are doing and how they are helping our students.
Great. Ty, thank you. We have a lot of chat going on. So
Good.
I am gonna, So first of all, Jim Milburn says that his wife Kathy became a full-time TCC instructor in 1974.
Wow.
Right out of college. How awesome is that? So that's cool. Also, Andy Leitner shared a story, and he actually brought this up in the foundation board meeting as well. So my son Austin was well served by the Metro Campus Accommodation Center. For him, it made the difference in his success at TCC. He is in his last semester and will graduate with computer science degree from Hardin-Simmons University.
Awesome.
So that's so great. We do have a question about veterans.
Sure.
And it says, how does TCC reach out to veterans? Do you maintain contact with veteran groups?
Fantastic question. We have a real focused intent on our veterans. We see a lot of veterans come to the doors at TCC using their GI Bill, that sort of thing, and they present with their own personal challenges and issues, if you will. And that is something that we are very cognizant of. At TCC, we have a Veterans Affairs Department, and they focus on working with our veterans on a very one-to-one basis. There's peer groups, there's tutoring that's provided for our veterans. And when they come to us, we treat them the same way. We know that they present with very specific challenges, very specific issues. And again, we partner very, very closely with our veterans and work just as we do with everyone else to help them be successful and transition back into the civilized world once they leave the military.
Great, thank you. As this is the scholarship, are the scholarships for those who did not qualify for Tulsa County free tuition?
It is open to everyone. There's the Oklahoma Promise, which is Oklahoma funded scholarship. And then Tulsa Community College has what's called Tulsa Achieves. Tulsa Achieves is available for any graduating high school senior who starts college the semester following their graduation. If they do that, and I know this program very well because my daughter did it, paid for her tuition all the way through graduation at TCC. So those two state-funded opportunities are available. They can get this scholarship on top of that. So, it can kind of snowball. They can get their Pell Grant or their Oklahoma Promise, their Tulsa Achieves, and then they can receive our scholarship as well, just to help them further.
Yes, good. All right. I think we're pretty much out of time. I know Lonnie, thank you for answering questions in the chat. Looks like she's answering some of those. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that back over to Barbara. Thank you so much, Ty. This was very informative.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, if anybody has any questions, again, Ty and Lonnie, they put their information up. You can also, of course, contact me anytime. So thanks.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you, Ty. I really appreciate that. Those of us, we have kind of an older Rotary Club, but some of us are older. And when I was in school, there were no accommodations made for anybody who needed them. So it's come a long, long way from when I started school as to where people are being treated with respect and given the opportunity to succeed. So it's wonderful to hear about your program.
And it's wonderful to hear that feedback, Megan. I appreciate you sharing that. And whoever had that experience, I am so thankful that it kind of shows that we're just not giving lip service. It's something that we live by every day. We take it. I mean, Lonnie's been here for so long, and she's been such a great mentor to me in learning this. And it's just a passion that we all share. It is just, and then Megan having to put up with me. I drove her crazy over the summer. She was so supportive in helping us get things set up for this. And I'm so thankful to her. And we do everything we can to be as supportive and as encouraging and enlightening to our students as we possibly can. And that's a value that really runs deep with us. So it's good to hear that positive feedback.
Well, it's obvious you have a passion for what you do, and that's excuse me, really appreciated. We're going to change our Rotary Day to February the 20th, and also that is Jinx to say.
Barbara, take your hand off the mic.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Nobody can hear you.
I didn't know where the mic was. Learn something every day. Okay.
Wherever your hand was.
I don't know. I guess it's on the side of the computer. Never mind. Anyway, food bank will be on the 20th. Jinx Food Bank will be on the 20th, and MSNI will be on the 20th, just because this Saturday doesn't look very good for anything but staying in and keeping warm. And I think that's about all, unless anybody else has another comment they want to make. I'll close with this.
Happy Valentine's Day coming. Don't forget, guys.
Yeah, don't forget your sweetheart.
Or your significant other.
Okay, here's my comment for the day. As I look outside at the lake and it's all gray and icy and I cannot see across the lake, it's just yucky outside. Here's my closing thought. Walk lightly in the spring. Mother Earth is pregnant. So that's kind of for Kit, because he's always counting down to the number of days till spring. So thank you all for joining the meeting today, and thank you all for the presentation. It's a really interesting show. It's not a show. Interesting meeting. So thank you all very much. We'll see you next Wednesday.
Bye-bye.